Welcome to the world united. Welcome to the world united.
So, welcome back to the day 5 of the World Parliament on Spirituality, Asia chapter for the year 2020. We are at the fag end of the event with the last panel discussion that is going to start now. So, I invite all the speakers of the day to join, please. And today's discussion is about only one topic: how the different spiritual schools of thought can get integrated so as to create and sustain the unity consciousness. That is the only subject, and all the subjects which appear to be different are basically falling in the same basket. So herewith, I would like to ask Kamau Abayomi. There are different spiritual schools of thought in the world, different faiths, different ideologies, different belief systems, different types of practices, different tools and techniques. We see very typically in the world about many spiritual organizations, especially, to make great claims about their own tools and techniques, their ideologies and faiths. Not wrong, not never bad. But the question is, the seeker or the student or the practitioner is so much into this faith and belief that he is closing himself, he is shutting himself, not to get exposed to, not able to knock the doors of many schools of thought. There might not be any need to knock at different school of thought, but still, a student is always a student. A seeker is always a seeker. A master is always a master. All these people who enter into certain path keep on knocking the doors to collect the droplets of wisdom. There is a natural tendency, the natural quality, the natural attitude of any student or sadhak or a seeker. When that is a natural quality or a primordial quality or the most important quality of any student, what is making him not to knock the doors of different dimensions of wisdom across the world? Is it because of his own conditioning for his own faith or ideology? Is he fixed, unable to knock the door? Don't want to get confused, possible confusions that might happen by way of knocking the doors? How to break this ice, how to break this rigidity, how to keep people enter the track of wisdom than ideology. Wisdom is more important than ideology. Wisdom is more important than belief system. Wisdom is more important than any faith. It is the wisdom which should govern the human consciousness. So how to make this wisdom available? How to make the people tread on the track of wisdom? How to make people knock the doors of all to collect the droplets of wisdom the way honeybee collects? I would like to listen from you, Kamau Abayomi. Over to you, please.
Yeah, so it's a great question. The funny thing about wisdom is that you can't make somebody get it. They have to experience, the application of the knowledge that they've attained in order to move into the phase or the state of being wise or acquiring wisdom. It can't be transmitted through a book, just reading books. You can read other people's wisdom that they've gained from their experience, but ultimately a person has to move into a phase of having their own life experience, because life experience will embed it into your system. Now, with that, of course, you can learn from the follies of other people. You can learn in this, like, I don't have to go do a bunch of drugs in order to know that it's not good for me. So I can gain wisdom in that way. Simultaneously, the highest form of wisdom is experiential wisdom. So for people who are locked into a rigid way of doing things and clinging to it as their savior, they haven't really moved into the wisdom phase of things until they've gone out into a space beyond the confines of what they've been currently experiencing in a limited confine. So, for example, if I've gone away to the mountains and I've studied with some meditative masters and I've learned meditation, and I have in me a drive to go into the world to impart what I think is wisdom, it won't be till I'm actually in the world that I can see the results of whether I've acquired wisdom or not, right? It's in the action, it's in the movement. So people have to take what they've learned and then apply it. They have to move into the field of experiencing it in the context of other situations and with other people, in the space of other perspectives, of other people transmitting their experience. And then from that, then they can see where they resonate with some knowledge that they've attained. Too often, it's easy to rest in the comfort of something that feels good, right? So if we are in a system that feels really good and we're content, that's fine. And if that's allowing one to expand and to progress, then continue on, more power to you. Conflict comes in is when you say, this is the best, this is the way. And your way is not, you either come with my way or you're foul and faulty and incorrect. That's where you have dissonance and things that are not cool. So if a person is moving in this particular way, then they haven't gained the wisdom they think they have. Because, as was stated earlier, there's, the rivers Baba G was alluding to, the rivers are the rivers. This river isn't better than that river. They all end at the ocean, right? This river may have a more windy path. That river might be a straightforward path, but ultimately the water that makes the river is the same. And they both go to the same destination of all being unified. And so if a person cannot realize that, then if they have a good teacher, the teacher will present situations for them so they can realize it in an experiential sense, not just an intellectual sense.
Yeah, thank you, Kamau. Thanks for your wonderful insights. May I request Dona, the same thing, how to make the people tread on the track of wisdom, how to make the people tread on the track of centeredness, how to make the people tread on the tracks of internalization of consciousness, how to make them knock the doors of all wisdom.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this beautiful question. Wow, I wish I knew exactly how. then the world would be instantly a better place already. But I can share what I can share with you is my own experience. For me, I believe in bringing together people in communities. Yes, we are in this journey as individuals, but we can do it together. We can walk this path holding hands. And for me, circles are a wonderful way of coming together, learning from each other, listening to each other. So in my experience, for example, we have a dear friend and sister of mine from Munich. Her name is Sabina Glass. We hold what we call a sister satsang. And in a sister satsang, there is no one guru speaking. Everybody can share. Somebody can ask a question and maybe another person can share their wisdom. And the sister satsangs have evolved. Originally, it was for women from 35 onwards so that we can go through the rite of passage of menopause together. But now it has evolved into an intergenerational sister satsang where the daughters of some of these women are joining in already. And I can't wait until my own 12-year-old, decides that she would like to sit in the satsang. So that's one way. Another way that I really believe from experience, based on my experience, to be very effective in getting together people in a very open, non-judgmental way is through what we call talking circles. Now, talking circles, I've learned this from Brother Phil Lane, from Sister Joanne Allison Henry. They are my adopted elders from the Four Worlds International. And talking circles is a really amazing way of getting people to be heard. And I wasn't sure if you were going to call me, but I put this up. I got this ready just in case you did, because these are some of the guidelines that we follow in talking circles. And if you can see here, only one person speaks at a time. No one talks twice until everyone has spoken once. Yeah, we share time and space equally and justly. We share on issues, not personalities. No judgments. Yeah, put downs or fix-ins. It's about learning how to listen as well. These are the guidelines brought forward by the Four World Talking Circle Leadership Program, which I have been trained in. And so if we can get now, my invitation here is get together with some of your friends. Yeah. Be that, invite people with diverse beliefs. Throw in a question in the center. Hear everybody's experiences. Listen to everybody's wisdom, even the wisdom of a child, the wisdom of our elders. And through that, we can learn together, have that shared experience. Shared experience creates shared values. So the invitation here is circle, like this, like what we are doing now. This is fantastic. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Thanks for your message and the action that you have already taken by way of putting some rules, by way of giving them the guidelines. It's good. So maybe your leadership and the guidelines would be useful for the coming 2021, the World United activities.
I am yours. Let me know how I can help and support.
Sure, for sure. Thank you very much. So, Roshani Shenazz. So the same question for you. Babaji. So, same question, how to make people knock the doors of wisdom. हमारा ज्ञान का दरवाजा कैसे खोल के रखना और दूसरों का ज्ञान का दरवाजा हमेशा के लिए हम कैसे खोल के रख सकते हैं. Am I right, Jyoti ji?
We all are moving in the same boat. Either we reach the bank of prosperity, spirituality, pleasure, and peace, or we all do. It's very important to know that what is the meaning of life. Women and men are built of two things. One, physical body, and second is spirit. As soon as the spirit goes out of the body is of no use, then graveyard or to another process of cremation or destroying that organically or materially or mechanically. Similarly, all the religions have the two parts of them. One is the rituals and second is the spirituality. As soon as spirituality comes out of the religion, religion is dead. In past also, so many religions are dead, become history, because spirituality has come out of it. For spirituality, one has to always remember death, that this life is not permanent. Always remember that God is one, earth is one, and all the communities are because of Allah and because of 1,24,001 Rasul throughout the earth. From the very first person on earth, Adam alayhi salam, Islam has started. Islam had not come during Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Islam is completed at the time of Rasulullah. This is only that people are not knowing. Hinduism is criticized because they have treated Rasul as God. But Ram, Krishna, Shiv, they were always saying Om Namah Shivaya. I pray to God, I pray to God who is the beneficiary of all. So similarly in Islam, now the things have come to that stage that they have ignored Rasul. Now they have to obey Rasul, they have to respect Rasul. As soon as Islam starts respecting Rasuls, the harmony will come, because God is one, earth is one, and religion is only one. Islam is the last chapter of religion, and Hinduism is the first chapter, and all the religions are the part of the Dharma. But people don't understand things. Now this is the responsibility of the spiritual leaders and religious leaders to take it for granted that if spirituality is not in their religion, that religion will also become the history of past. So come on, enjoy this human being. You are having a very good atmosphere that now nature is angry. God is not very happy with you. Lots of problems are there. But God is not won by wisdom, but by feelings, by intuitions, and by spirituality. I am very much thankful for all of you. You are doing a great job to the humanity. You are serving them with the spirituality and with awakening the people so that all people can come together. I congratulate you, Yugandhar and team, for this wonderful and for this marvelous presentation. I am also very much thankful to Ma Tejomai. She has got the spirituality, she has got the aroma, she has got the wisdom. I also appreciate Roshani. She has got wonderful things. All the orators of the program has given a charm to this garden. God never wanted that there should be only one flower of rose or one flower of lotus there in the garden. Garden is made for so many flowers. So let us enjoy humanity. Let us enjoy respect to our God, and let us obey to our Rasuls. All 1,24,001, and there are thousands of Rasul in India also, in China also. No part is there in the world where Allah has not sent the messengers. So we all can be united by taking Allah, God, Om, Vaheguru, God as our prime direction and controller. This is a very rough period. The whole universe is going through a very bad period. People are not happy. Diseases are there, weather is storming, and the things are not moving fine. This is the time when all we should come together and pray God for His mercy. He is REHMANI Rahim. He will listen to us, and He will do all the things. Pothi padi padi jagat mua pandit bhaya na koi. ढाई आखर प्रेम का पढ़े सो पंडित होई. So wisdom is on one side, but internal institution is the important thing. All the Atmas are the part of Paramatma. If there is no God in your heart and in yourself, then there is no God in masjid or mandir or gurudwara or church. You have to concentrate in yourself. And I congratulate all of you, and especially Dr. Yugandhar. You are a great Nishkambhav yogi. You are doing a great job to spirituality. And one thing more, God is the light, and the whole universe is illuminated by the spiritual light. There was one Mira who saw this light and become the part of the light. There is a stone Paras who turns iron into gold, but only spirituality is the Paras which turns ordinary iron into Paras. Spirituality is such a bigger thing that it can convert an ordinary person into the spiritual soul. So just come out of ignorance, come out of anger, come out of jealousy, and come out of darkness to light of spirituality, and you will be so much relieved from the pain. You will be so much relieved from the pressure and diseases, and everything will go immediately as soon as you surrender yourself to nature. लाली मेरे लाल की, जित देखो तित लाल, लाली देखन में गई, मैं भी हो गई लाल. So go with the universe, go with the spirituality. All the problems will be solved. It's very simple. Religion is not difficult at all. Religion don't require fasting. Religion don't require Hajj. Religion only requires mercy, only requires your duties towards humanity. Tulsidas ji said, दया धर्म को मूल है और पाप मूल अभिमान. तुलसी दया न तजिए जब लोगत में प्राण. When Christ was being crucified, what he was saying, that God forgive them, they don't know what they are doing. But when you are not in pain, still then you can do something good for humanity. And I wish all of you the best wishes, that you go ahead in the life with your responsibilities. This earth, this time, this life is not permanent. Real life comes after the death. The Islam says that only those are moments who believes in birth and death and again birth and life after death. So all the life becomes easy, everlasting peace is there, and you all are satisfied with your karmas in this yoga. So wishing you all the best. God bless all of you, and especially my regards to Ma Tejomai. I am obliged to see her, and she is wonderful, and I wish all of you the best wishes. God bless all of you with very good wealth, with very good health, and very, very good spiritual satisfaction and success. God bless all of you. Thank you very much, and always be successful. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Babaji. Thanks a lot. So I will transliterate a few words here spoken in Hindi, the sayings of Kabir Das. A beautiful saying. Kabir Das is a Nad yogi, a Sufi saint, an adept in Advaita, an adept in Tantra and Yoga, a combination of so many schools of thought from the 15th century India. Kabir Das, a student of the glorious Mahavtar Babaji. लाली मेरे लाल की जित देखो तित लाल, लाली देखन मैं गई, मैं भी हो गई लाल. So that means, oh God, I went to see God, I became God. So he who is on exploration of God and godliness, he becomes God. Becoming God means what? When already one is God, becoming God is only realizing that he's already a God. So we are all small iotas, small specks of dust in the universe. The universal godly energy embodied in a seed form, each one of us. So the divine consciousness need to be awakened in a massive scale, very massive scale, so as to really see a glorious world. No more personal trumpets, no more blowing one's own trumpets, drums. No, enough. We have done enough. Now it is the unified consciousness which has to take over. So many uniformity models in the world, person-centric models in the world, teacher-centric models in the world. The time has come for all of us to move from teacher-centric model to teachings-centric model. Wise man-centric model to wisdom-centric model. Authority-centric model to authenticity-centric model. Uniformity model to unity model. We need to flow. We need to make this shift. Teachings are more important than teacher. Unity is more important than uniformity. Authenticity is more important than authority. Wisdom is more important than a wise man. Follow the wisdom, follow the teachings to become who you ought to be, who you need to be, who you are supposed to be. So herewith, I have got a question with Kamau Abayomi. Once again, before that, let me also take some insights from Roshani Shenazz. You would like to say anything? How to knock the doors of the wisdom? How to make the people knock the doors of wisdom and break away of this self-created, boxed ideologies and faiths?
Namaste, everyone. Thank you, Yugandharji, for this opportunity. I think there's this beautiful thing in Meher Baba's discourses, which talks about the pathways moving from using the words which Babaji would be more familiar with, from Shariat to Tariqat to Marifat to Hakikat. The journey is that, whereas we get stuck in the Shariat part of it. It is like being in nursery, or, when we were young, we were writing alphabets on a dotted line. A, B, C, D, dots हुआ करते थे, and we would join the dots कि हमारा हाथ बैठ जाए to write the alphabet. Then we made words, then we made sentences, then we made grammar, and then we had fluent language. But what happens if we get stuck at the nursery level, trying to break our heads into understanding why is the A written like this and why is the C like this, and mechanically keep on holding on that fact without actually transcending that process? The box ideas that you shared about right now, Yugandharji, is the main problem. We don't want to come out of our unawareness. We don't want to come out of this, when somebody says come out of the box, I say throw the box out. There's no time. We have no time left technically to come out of the box. We have to throw the box out. The transcendence from religion to spirituality is required to understand that all these isms were only made for us to realize the biggest ism of all life, and that's humanism. And when humanism becomes the only ism that we are focused on, only ism that we are revering, teaching, preaching, living, I think that is the time when we'll be truly united and live this united or the unity of consciousness that we are actually are. We are not living ourselves. We are just living this carcass denominational form. The true being is trampled constantly in the entire, frenzy of our lives. We are constantly in this one-upmanship. I always feel this thing that, we all are unique, and that uniqueness makes this entire canvas of life. Each thread is unique. And yet to tell all of my fellow light beings, people who are doing inner work, people who are spiritual mediums, that we are not special. I said this on another platform yesterday, day before yesterday as well. We have to understand in all humility, love, and compassion that we are not special. Each and every human is special and unique. The only difference is that some have awakened that uniqueness, some have tapped into that light and awakened it and allowed it to shine, and some are still in the dormant stage. But that intrinsic latent divinity is within all of us. Another beautiful part in discourses where Meher Baba says that we all are God as well. The only difference is our journey from unconscious divinity to conscious divinity. From not knowing the I am God state to knowing the I am God or the Aham Brahmasmi state. And that journey we have to traverse within the, the freedom of this religion of humanism. When we discuss, there is so much of hatred, there's so much of angst when we talk about, the terrorists or the perpetrators of humanity. But I ask, what are we doing? What am I doing? If I can ask every single day as a call to action, what am I doing? Where am I discriminating? Where am I judging? Where am I putting somebody down or somebody's religion down? Where am I making that difference, positive or negative? And unless and until this mission becomes each and every individual's mission, we'll be like these global SDGs, which will keep on rotating year after year and decades after decades. Because it is some organizationals. It is not yours and mine, people think. But unless I own it, unless we give that ownership to every citizen, that you are making this kabada, you have created this terrorist, you have created this perpetrator. And yes, let's take that onus. That somewhere we are responsible directly or indirectly, consciously or unconsciously, in this or another lifetime. And that onus of responsibility will only give us the power to make the change. Because if I have only blame, then the power lies on the opposite side. It's not in my hands to change because I didn't do it. But if I take that responsibility that I have created the mess and I have the power to clear it, then that choice lies with me. And we have to create that awareness of choice to people. That every single day when you wake up, you have the choice what you are giving into the world. You have a choice how you are living. You have a choice what you are creating. And make them realize that difference in small ways. Create awareness and, group sessions with your society, with your communities. Let each of us contribute. It's not the thekedari of light beings or healing mediums and therapists. If each and every one becomes healed and empowered, we won't need these designations. And that is my prayer.
So
That
thank you.
we awaken each and every human being, every fellow light being to operate from their inner light. And that is a light being. Light workers are not just people who are doing the seeming spiritual work. Everyone is a light worker who operates out of their inner light. Every teacher, every tailor, every carpenter, every farmer, every nook and corner of the world, somebody who is operating out of their authenticity, their integrity, is operating out of their inner light and is a light worker. Let's promote that light worker. let's bring them on and join hands with them and say, let's create a happy planet.
Thank you. Thank you, Roshani ji. Please stay tuned. So, Kamau Abayomi and all the speakers of the Day 5 of the World Parliament on Spirituality, the last question of the day. In fact, the last question of the World Parliament Asia, the last question of the entire series of World Parliament. This is the last question, but very important question. And I'm going to begin with Kamau Abayomi. We all want peace. Everywhere, inside out. People who are creating violence, unrest, injustice, disharmony, agitation, protest, all antisocial elements, all terrorists also want peace. But there is an issue here. All the spiritual masters, all the gods, all the premature gods, all the unawakened gods, all the people who are much more disturbing, much more untoward for the development of the world, also talking of peace, but in a different way. My way differs with your way. That is a problem. Yet both of us want peace. The terrorists, international terrorists also want peace, but their way, through guns and bullets. Through bombs and violence, they want peace. No one talks of peace bomb. They want hydrogen bombs, nuclear bombs, and different types of bombs. The massacres and genocides all are happening in the name of peace. All in the name of peace. Nothing other than peace. So the problem appears to be, when everyone wants peace, we are differing with how to bring peace. That is the only issue here. Peace is not an issue. Bringing out the way to peace appears to be an issue, only issue. How to break this? Roshani Shenazzz was saying, not coming out of the box, break the box. Is there anything like how to break these boxes, individual in the world? Kamau, I would like to hear from you, please.
It's complex. It's very, very complex. But also very much reflective of the oneness that we're all speaking to. There are different paths and reflections and expressions of oneness. And, you know, so many of us prefer the oneness that exists in the diversity of a garden. And then there are people who just want all weeds. That's it. That's oneness as well. So yeah, some people are trying to achieve oneness through control and manipulation. Unfortunately, in my opinion, that at this level of existence, at this level of life, this is the play for us as free will beings to decide which path to the oneness that we're going to take, right? Because those who exist on the dark, quote unquote, dark polarity, are those who live in control and siphon energy from others. They are fulfilling their path in life often, and often they can't be convinced to go another path. And many people who are psychopathic in their nature, who just have no empathy within them, they move in this way. And there's nothing we can say or do to convince them to do any other thing. So it is on us who do see the path to oneness through diversity, through everybody being their individual, unique, luminous light, you know, as Roshani had just so brilliantly was expressing. For those of us who see that, have to create the alternative. We have to create it. We cannot fight against what they're trying to do. We have to create what we want to create, because that way of existence is going to fall on, it's going to implode on itself. Now it's for us to get out of the way from that implosion and create what we want to create. And so for the average person who is subjected to the manipulations of the control paradigm via media, via music, through all these different means of doing it. It's on these individuals to remain alert, but it's also for us who do have an awareness of the diversity of creating a new way to reach out to them in every mode possible, not in one lane. So a person, if we have a world that we see we're going to create, we need to get to those influencers to really stimulate them to move in that way and come to the understanding of unity, because they are the ones who are going to influence the masses. So if you have a pop star who has 5 million followers and you're not speaking to them, then you're not going to reach the masses, because all the kids are listening to that pop star, right? So if we can do this, and this is beautiful, right? And I say this is poetry, this event, but if this event happens and it's just a bunch of us who already know talking to each other, then it's not going to do any good. It needs to be us and 1,000 kids who are also listening in, because they're the ones who are going to steer the course. And then we need to get those pop stars, those fashion designers, those new business tech people, whatever, they need to be on the page, because if they're on the page, then they'll filter through. If they're not on the page, then they're going to follow what the dictates of the current failing system is. So we have to reach out to those influencers in order to really, really shift it to a way where we can have a truly diverse and free, and everybody can express and create in the way they see fit. We got to reach those influencers who are young.
Thank you, Kamau. And Dona, I'm asking you the same question. Dona, yeah, nice name.
So you
Thank
have
you.
to repeat
Dona
the
already is
question.
good and great and noble.
You have
Yeah,
to
nice.
repeat the
Thank
question
you.
for Dona. She
Yes, please.
missed it.
Yes, please. So, peace, but my way. Peace, we want peace, but my way. That appears to be hurdle. That appears to be hassle. That appears to be the total nonsense which is blocking everything. So how to eradicate this but my way? Because everyone thinks it is the highway.
Very interesting question. I think I was traveling to North America one day, and I had a chatty person beside me, and was asking me what I'm doing and stuff. And then when I told him what I was doing, he looks at me and he said, "Do you think there will ever be peace and oneness?" Whew. That's a big question. And precisely because of that idea that my piece is better than yours. And what I said to him was, I think, what I said to him was, as when we are born here on this earth, we are born into that state of diversity. Yeah? Some people say it's duality. And I want to kind of expand that and say into a state of diversity. There is some form of separation. Okay. And perhaps because of that, there will always be different perspectives, which from one end you can look at as, oh, that's sad. How can we ever be one? But what if each of these perspectives can actually give us a lens to experience the oneness, to experience that wholeness, to experience each other. So embracing that diversity first, I feel. Now, it's very difficult. I'm not going to say it's easy. It can be very challenging, especially, for example, in my country, a few years back, there was a big massacre of journalists down south. And at that time, I was learning ahimsa, really embodying what does ahimsa mean and what does oneness mean. And part of me just refused to believe that I was one with those people. What part of me is that? And I had to sit and contemplate, because that war that we speak of, that's inside of us too. It's not just outside of us. That part that says my piece is better than yours, my way is better than yours, that exists inside of me. There's a part of me that's always, that can be so polar. And so my personal task is first to show that kindness and compassion towards myself. To bring back, to gather myself, to hold myself gently through that, and create an understanding inside of me that is also respectful of the points of view of the voices in my head. And through that practice, like for example, for those people who did the massacre, what I came to realize is that, yeah, I may not have killed a person, but how many people have I killed through gossip? How many people's reputations have I killed because I said something? And that brought me into that realization. Aha, I am that too. There's a part of me that is that. So I personally would begin with myself. Thank you.
I will do like this, your style. Thank you. Thank you, Dona. Hello, Dona. Nice.
Thank
Babaji.
you. Thank you.
Babaji, your views on how to break this but my way aspects of peace.
Yes.
बाबा मेरा रास्ता
During
ही ठीक है
during the
इसके ऊपर।
Satyug,
हाँ।
the different loks were there. Patal lok and Prithvi lok for the good people and for the bad people. During Treta, the good people were on one leg and bad people were on the other end, just like Ram and Ravan. They were different countries. In the Dwapar, Kaurava and Pandav, they were in the same family. And during this Kali Yuga, the Ram and Ravan, Kaurav and Pandav, and bad and good, they all are within individuals. During a war, Rasulullah hardly one, he was facing a very difficult war. All the warriors said that Rasulullah, this was the biggest war. No war can be bigger than this. Then Rasulullah smiled and said, this is a Jang-e-Asghar, but everybody has to face the Jang-e-Akbar. एक बड़ी लड़ाई सारी दुनिया के लोगों को लड़ना पड़ेगी और वो लड़ाई है नफ्स अम्मारा, हमारी कमियों के ऊपर काबू पाना, वो सबसे बड़ी लड़ाई है। जैनिज्म के अंदर कहते हैं अरिहंतानम, काम क्रोध लोभ मोह मद मच्छर के दुश्मन को जिसने नष्ट कर दिया वो प्रकाश पाता है, प्रभु की कृपा पाता है। तो लड़ाई बाहर नहीं है, लड़ाई तो अंदर है। एग्जामिनर सब जानता है, लेकिन वो प्रश्न पूछता है आपसे, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि वो नहीं जानता, लेकिन जरूरी नहीं है कि सब 100 में से 100 नंबर लाए। कुछ योगेंद्र जैसे मेधावी होंगे तो 100 में से 90 ले आएंगे, 95 ले आएंगे, और कुछ मेरे जैसे डफर होंगे तो 100 में से 25 ले आएंगे, 30 ले आएंगे, स्टिल हैप्पी कि ग्रेस मार्क से पास हो रहा हूं मैं। तो सवाल सीधा सच्चा ये है कि जिंदगी के अंदर जो लड़ाइयां हैं वो होती है, तो लड़ाई अपने से ही है, अपने खुद से लड़ना। पीस चाहिए, इफ यू वांट पीस you have to get it from inside. If you are not peaceful in heart, then you cannot be peaceful anywhere. God don't want anything to be silent. He is taking examinations of good and bad people. So from Satyug to Kalyug, all the disturbances are always there. This is the real examination of Sabar. This is the real examination of Jikar. This is the real examination of Shukar, Sabar and Jikar. So you have to face the situation, whatsoever it is coming. Not to worry about anything, what's happening outside. God is not going to ask you the questions regarding others. He will ask you that what you were doing, what you have done, what you have done to yourself own self. There is no accountant, but the spirit itself having a super computer with it, noting everything. Whatsoever is good you have done, that is also noted. What you have done bad is also noted. No, if you do something good, then he's such a nice personality that he gives you 10 out of 10. And when you do something bad, then he even excuses you if you are sorry for it. So peace is inside. Happiness is also inside. One small boy, poor boy, is very happy getting a balloon, and a person even gets crores of rupees. Ambani and Adani, they are not happy. They want more, more, more. No, happiness is after inside thing. So peace is also inside thing. So I just say that be peaceful, be thankful, and be happy. That is all. And listen that life after death is much more nice than this life. That's why Isa went on crucifixion, praying for those who were giving him trouble. Father, forgive them, they don't know what they are doing. Imam Hussein sacrificed himself in Karbala Maidan, knowing that his strength was there. Ram was a powerful king. He had all the support of the public. And his father's decision to not to give him the kingdom was not right, but still, despite of energy and strength, he obeyed and he put up the Maryada. So this is a big business. Who are clever, like Socrates, they take the poison happily, and who are fool, they are going for this life, like Sikandar, and he went empty-handed from the world. So I wish all can be viewed in so many different ways. My peace is internal, purely personal matter. If you are peaceful in heart, if you are peaceful in soul, if you are doing something nice to others, you are at peace. And if you are harming someone else, you are not at peace. So I pray that all of you get everlasting peace and pleasure during life and even after life. So thanking you very much.
Yeah.
Blessings.
Thank you, Babaji.
God bless all of you, and especially Dr. Yugandhar. I am very impressed and pleased to see you. Bless you. God bless you. And go on this road, on this path. Brahma, Vishnu is one thing. Anal Haq. I myself is God. That the water of a Nali, dirty Nali goes into the ocean and becomes the ocean. So not to worry, not to use your brain, but you use your intuitions. God is well within everybody's heart and soul. Soul is the part of Almighty God.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Gold pieces cannot be away from the gold. So improve yourself, value yourself. खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से पूछे तेरी रजा क्या है. What do you want? I will give you. So thanking you very much. I am very happy to see all of you, and thank you very much, Jyoti Taneja, for giving me opportunity to see this world family again. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Sayukta, again. Thank you, Roshani. Thank you, Tejo Mahima. I am very happy to see all of you. Take care of yourself. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Babaji. Thanks for your wonderful wisdom sharing. Thank you very much.